Hi again, everyone. Gary Digital Williams here on Boxing Along the Beltway. Our news and notes for this week. And, of course, we didn't have news and notes last week because we had so much live action to give you this past week with cards on back-to-back Saturdays that we kind of skipped the news and notes for last week. But we're back in full force this week because we have a lot of news. And, of course, big bouts coming up this weekend as well. As I said during the last two broadcasts, April is going to be a huge month for us. A lot of things going on. We have something going on literally every weekend, with the exception of the 15th. Well, actually, we do have something going on the 15th. That's the Junior Olympics at Rosecroft Raceway. That'll be the 14th and 15th of April. But literally every weekend, there's something big going on boxing-wise in the Beltway region. So make sure you're a part of that. You can, of course, download the Google app, Boxing on the Beltway Google app for Android. You can subscribe to the Boxing on the Beltway pages on Spreaker.com and iHeartRadio.com. That's Spreaker, SPREAKER.com and iHeartRadio.com. Subscribe to those pages, and when we go live, you're right there with us, and you can hear the broadcast at any time. Of course, we have almost 200 hours worth of content on the Boxing on the Beltway Google app for Android and on Spreaker.com and iHeartRadio.com that you can hear at any time for free. So we got live broadcasts of blow-by-blow shows, blow-by-blow broadcasts of boxing cards. We've got interviews, our news and notes podcast. Anything you want about boxing in the Beltway region, you have it right there on the Boxing on the Beltway Google app for Android. And our news and notes are brought to you by our real-time pain relief from boxers to ballerinas for shoulder pain, the muscle strain, and everything in between. Boxing Along the Beltway recommends real-time pain relief, the natural, plant-based, safe, fast, and effective ointment. Rub it on, the pain is gone in real time, and don't forget, you go to www.freepainoffer.com, buy $10 worth of real-time pain relief. You get a free $10 tube of real-time pain relief. Well, we are going to preview the entire Top Rank Promotions card. It's going to be held at the MGM National Harbor on Saturday, April the 8th, in just a moment, but we want to get through some recaps of the weekend's action. First of all, Scott Cujo Sigmund back on April 1st. He lost a 10-round unanimous decision to Luis Arias of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Of course, Scott Sigmund out of Bedford, Virginia, near Lynchburg. Sigmund was trying to get the USBA middleweight title that Arias owns, but he lost by scores of 99-91 across the board. 99-91 times 3. Tough loss for Sigmund. Of course, when he goes up in opponent, he does have a tougher time. He always gives a good shot. Always gives a good accounting of himself. But again, lost by 99-91 across the board. Sigmund is by the way, took place at the Carnegie Music Hall in Homestead, Pennsylvania. Sigmund is now 29-11-1, 16 KOs, and Arias remains undefeated. He's 17-0 with 8 KOs. So again, Sigmund has said at different points he's going to retire, but every time he says that, he comes back and gets himself a good bout with probably a decent payday along with it. So hopefully he will continue because he's good for the sport, good promoter as well, and hopefully he'll still be involved in the sport. So again, tough loss for Scott Sigmund. Meanwhile, down at the Tara Center, that's in Jonesboro, Georgia, a boxer that we haven't seen a whole lot in this area. He did make his pro debut in the area back in 2016. November 2016, he lost that bout, and I believe the bout was at the DuBurns Arena in Baltimore. And his name is Jonathan Bad Badger Baxter. He's out of D.C. He's a welterweight. And ever since that loss, he lost that to Vladimir Pierre. Ever since that loss, he has gone down south, and he's fought boxers down there. Fought in North Carolina, South Carolina, and also in Georgia, where he was this past weekend. And he's been doing very well. He's been knocking people out. Not the greatest competition, of course. But again, he's starting out early himself. And Baxter did it again. He won a first-round knockout over Darren Hester of Wilson, North Carolina. Knocked him out at 101 of the first round. And so he is 4-1, 4 KOs. All of his wins have come in the first round. Darren Hester is 0-4. So Jonathan Banks hopes will come back up this way, up toward the Beltway, and start competing once again in the area. So we'll see what happens there. Meanwhile, of course, I hope you had a chance to hear the broadcast from Rose Golf Raceway in Fort Washington, Maryland, the 2017 Washington Golden Gloves Championships. And I'm going to tell you something, guys. If you're not at the regionals coming up on April 22nd, you're going to miss some outstanding boxing coming up. Now, the official bout sheet has not come out yet. It may not come out for a while because we do have until the 22nd to get this done. But just let me talk about the Washington Golden Gloves first. Outstanding performances by the likes of, well, first of all, the most outstanding performance probably was Cenk Plana. He was out of Simon Brown's gym in, I believe that's in Gaithersburg, Maryland. And you know, Plana is an interesting person. You know, we had a chance to hope you had a chance to hear the broadcast from Marcos 8th Avenue, Glen Burnie, Maryland, where we had a chance to listen to Nick Kisner's bout in the main event. And he and Plana are very similar in styles. They both keep their hands low. Their hands are quick for guys their size. The difference with Plana is that right now he's in a showboat mode. And he did a lot of showboating against Keon Burrows of the Headbangers in the Washington Golden Glove Championships. And he got read the riot act. The head of the officials for the Plum Valley Athletic Association of USA Boxing, that's Tamara McKinney, and she read him the riot act after the bout, and he apologized. At least he looked like he apologized. But it was a interesting bout. He fought very well. He landed a crushing knockdown over Keon Burrows, and Burrows, to his credit, stayed in the bout and did an outstanding job, but it was just too much. So he did well. Also, in 165 pounds, Ashton Sykes scored the only stoppage win of the tournament. He stopped Stefan Hops of the Headbangers in the third round. Also, Keyshawn Williams out of Next Up Gym defeated Kalani Daly of Sugar Hill Energy. That was a good bout. This is all in the open division, by the way. Donnell Poe from Old School Boxing lost to Wilfredo Avalar at 141 pounds. Tommy Avalar defeated Ibrima Jawara of Laurel at 132 pounds. So they were the marquee boxers in that in the open division. Meanwhile, over in the novice division, Ian Simmons won over Sean Cormier. Ian Simmons out of the Hillcrest Gym, and Sean Cormier had a kicked up boxing. Devontae Warren had the best bout of the night, I think. He and Darnell Pittman. Devontae Warren out of Odenton Boxing won a decision over Darnell Pittman of Knowledge Boxing. And that was, I 4-starred that one. That was really the best bout, I think, of the entire evening, to tell you the truth. It was a great bout. And so they did well. 165 pounds in the novice division. Elon Tremblay had a good win from the Headbangers over Torrey Hilton, who was unattached. So those are just some of the bouts that are outstanding. Now, some of those bouts I mentioned them for a reason, because when they go up against the folks from Virginia, North Carolina, there are going to be some really, close to dream matches in that, in the regionals coming up. Now, again, this is early. Things can happen between now and the 22nd, but, if it holds true, these will be some great bouts coming up. In the open division, I'm really excited about the 141-pound championship bout between Diego Abregu of the Herndon Boxing Gym and Wilfredo Avalar of Sugar Ray. That is going to be a great bout. It really is. Diego Abregu is more the technical boxer. Avalar does a great job. He'll come in forward. And I think out of the Avalar brothers, Wilfredo, Tommy, and Brian, Wilfredo probably had, I think, the best power of the three. And he will hit you. He hit you hard. And he hit Donnell Poe in the Washington Championships very hard. And Diego Abregu defeated Andres Bostic in the 141-pound division in Virginia. And that should be a great matchup. It really should be an outstanding matchup. The matchup in 132 shouldn't be too bad either, and that's going to be Keyshawn Davis out of Alexandria, and he'll take on Tommy Avalar, Wilfredo's brother, in the finals, if all goes according to plan. That should be a great bout as well. And at 165 pounds, now this is really interesting to see what happens here. Ashton Sykes, who again had a great win in the Washington Championships, will take on arguably the best open boxer in the area at this moment. And that is Troy Isley of Alexandria. He's one of the best in the country, and matter of fact, best in the world, as a matter of fact. And if he does decide to compete in the finals, and there's no guarantee he will, because we've seen that happen before, because I remember Gary Antoine Russell decided to skip the finals of the regional Golden Gloves. He skipped the regional Golden Gloves. So it could happen that Troy Isley skips it. I don't know. I know he wants to keep busy because he's got a lot of things going on coming up at the Worlds and some other things. We talked to him a couple of Saturdays ago from the ABC Sports Complex. But if he doesn't do it, then obviously Ashton Sykes will move on to the regional team. But if he does decide to compete, he'll try for a second straight championship, first of all, and it should be a very good bout. I mean, both guys are coming off TKO wins. And it should be a really good bout, no question about that. So those are some of the marquee bouts that are scheduled for the regional championships in the open division. Now in the novice division, the one bout I'm really looking forward to is at 141 pounds with Ian Simmons at Hillcrest going against Kyrie Clinkscales of Herndon. That should be a great bout. It really should. Both those guys were very impressive in their respective championships. That should be a very good bout. So we'll give you the whole preview in about a week or so. We should get a bout sheet in about a week or so concerning the Washington and the regional Golden Gloves. And the regional Golden Gloves will be held on Saturday, April 22nd at Rosecroft Raceway in Fort Washington, Maryland. If you cannot be there, and we hope you will be there in droves for that one. You can also listen to it live right here on the Box On Beltway Google app for Android and on Spreaker.com and iHeartRadio.com. Meanwhile, coming up on this coming Tuesday night, a couple DC boxers will be on a card at the Sands Bethlehem Event Center. That's in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. They'll be coming up a couple boxers there. Gregory Glizzy Clark will be on the card. He'll be taking on Devin McMaster of Pennsylvania. Don't know in Pennsylvania where he is, but Clark had a good performance in his last bout. He fought Patrick Rivera over at Rosecroft Raceway on February 11th and won a 4-round split decision. And I really think he came from behind and got that win. Rivera started off very, very well, but Clark, to his credit, really dug deep, and he came back and won that bout. So he'll be taking on Devin McMaster. McMaster's 1-0, won his pro debut in Tijuana, Mexico, in a 4-round split decision over Luis Fernando Aguilar. That was on March the 2nd. Also, DC super featherweight Jordan the Kid Peters. He comes back for the first time since June of 2013. He was on that awful card at the Echo Stage Lounge back in June of 2013 in Washington, D.C. Every bout just about, except for the main event, which is a female bout. Every other bout landed and ended in the first round. He knocked out Anthony Ganway in the first round of that bout. Jordan Peters did, and Ganway hasn't fought since. Peters will take on Hector Bayanilla of Allentown, Pennsylvania, in a 4-rounder. Bayanilla's 1-0, 1 KO. He scored a 3rd-round TKO over Jair Nava. That was on July 16th in Layton, Utah. So they're on that card. That card is going to be televised on FS1. The main event, I believe, is Edna Cherry against Omar Douglas, which actually be a very good bout coming up. That'll be on there, but neither of these bouts will be on the at least are not scheduled to be on the televised portion of that card. So that's tomorrow, as we record this, Tuesday, April 4th, at the Sands Bethlehem Event Center in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. All right, now let's turn to Saturday night, April 8th, at the MGM National Harbor Casino in Oxon Hill, Maryland, for the Top Rank Promotions card, and also Peltz Boxing is co-promoting this card. Now, let me give you the time first. The first bout will get on the way at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. The doors open at 6:30, and if you do not have a ticket, you are probably out of luck unless you can get some from another means, because this card has apparently been sold out for about a month, and It's not a big facility. I think it only holds about 3,000 people. I have not been there yet, so my first time will be there, be the night of the card. And so I can tell you for certain that card is a complete and utter sellout. So just want to let you know about that. So if you do not have a ticket, you will you have to watch the main event bouts on HBO, and we'll talk about those in a moment. But first, let's go over the local guys that'll be on the card. And only 2 local guys will be on the card, but they're good ones, no question about that. Mike Yes Indeed Reed will be on the card. He is scheduled to be in a 10-round bout for the first time in his pro career. 10-round bout against Reyes Sanchez of Mexico City, Mexico. Mike Reed is 21-0, 12 KOs coming off his last win, which was an 8-round unanimous decision win over Sidney Siqueira. That was on December 10th at the CenturyLink Center in Omaha, Nebraska. And I think it's a good step up for Mike Reed. He's facing a veteran, to say the very least. And he's fought a lot of these veteran guys. But again, he's fighting guys. This will be he's not fought a guy under 500 since April of 2013 when he knocked out Cassius Clay. That was his name, Cassius Clay, at the Showplace Arena up in Marlboro, Maryland. He fought DeMarcus Rogers. I think Mark Rogers may have been making his pro debut. Went 4 rounds, unanimous decision with him. But everybody else. Oh, well, I'm sorry. The last time he fought a guy under 500, he fought Roberto Lopez in July of 2013 at Rosecroft and scored a 3rd-round TKO. Everybody else since then has been 500 or above. And most of them have really good records. So we'll see. Reyes Sanchez is 26-9-2 with 15 KOs. He has lost 3 in a row. He was stopped in his last bout against Juan Heraldez. That was on September 16th in Las Vegas. And he stopped in the 3rd round there. So he did lose a 12-round bout. He's won a number and fought for a number of regional titles. He's won the Continental America's lightweight title. He fought for the vacant WBC Youth World Lightweight title. He's won the silver title, silver lightweight title. So he's kind of been where Mike Reed wants to be, which makes this a step up in and of itself, in my opinion. But we'll see. It should be a tough one. 10-round bout. So first 10-rounder for Mike Yes Indeed Reed. We'll see how he fares. So that's a good performance. Hopefully that will lead to, a television bout somewhere down the road. A lot of people want to see Mike on television, and he's working his way toward that. So we'll see what happens. Also on the undercard will be Patrick Harris out of Hyattsville, Maryland. He's undefeated 10-0, 7 KOs, and he'll be in his first scheduled 8-round bout when he takes on Omar Mr. Power Garcia. He's out of Monterrey, Mexico. His record is 6-6 with 1 KO. Patrick Harris coming off a 3rd-round TKO over Sean Lockhart. That was on September 30th at the Sphinx Club in Washington, D.C. Truth be told, Patrick Harris is really taking a slow boat, so to speak. He's only fought one guy over 500, and that was a 3-2 guy that he fought, Jeffrey Ramos, back in October 2014 at Rosecroft Raceway. He won a majority decision there. So he's fighting a guy at 500 here with Omar Garcia. But so as a good step up, he's still young. He's only 22 years old, and he's been moved at a slow pace, which is fine. So we'll see what happens with this one. So that's 6-6 Omar Garcia. He is coming off a 6th round. He's lost 3 in a row, coming off in 5 of his last 6. 3 in a row, 5 of his last 6. And he lost by 6-round unanimous decision to Nestor Bravo. And that was on November 18th in Kissimmee, Florida. He has been 8 rounds before. He did lose an 8-round majority decision to a guy by the name of Geronimo Hernandez in Monterrey, Mexico. That was in August of 2015. So it's a little step up for Patrick Harris. So we'll see how he fares. And then again, he's going 8 rounds for the very first time. So those are the 2 bouts that feature Beltway boxers. The majority of the boxers on this card, I should say the main boxers on the card, are known as the Ukrainian Dream Team. That's what their manager, Igor Klimas, calls them. and they are some dynamites. No question about that. Of course, the main event is for the WBO Super Featherweight Championship, and that'll match the champion, Vasyl High-Tech Lomachenko, out of Ukraine, now fighting out of Oxnard, California, and he'll be taking on former WBA Super Featherweight Champion Jason Sosa out of Camden, New Jersey. Now, Lomachenko, regarded as one of the best fighters, pound for pound, in the entire world. I am really excited and really looking forward to seeing him up close. Of course, we all know that in his third bout, he defeated Gary Russell by a 12-round majority decision. Russell said he was not at his best, and he probably wasn't. He had some things going on with his preparation for the bout. But having said that, Lomachenko is really fun to watch. He's a tactical fighter's fan's dream. And I really believe he is one of the best in the world. There's no question about that. Lomachenko made the the first defense of his title on November 26th in Las Vegas, Nevada. Scored a seventh round stoppage of Nicholas Walters, and Walters just quite frankly, in my opinion, just had enough in that bout, and he just quit. He basically just quit. He was getting pummeled, and it was a tough grow. But Lomachenko, I think, is one of the best in the business. 7-1, 5 KOs. And he faces a guy in Jason Sosa who really is a tough boxer. I mean, I think he's a really solid boxer, but I don't know if he can really keep up with what he's going to face against Lomachenko. Jason Sosa, 20-1, 15 KOs. That one loss came up against in his fifth pro bout against Trayshawn Wiggins, who is fighting very soon. As a matter of fact, he's coming up very soon. But anyway, that was his first loss. But he's fought, good people. He actually drew with Nicholas Walters back in December of 2015, won his WBA Super Featherweight Championship over Javier Fortuna in China, in Beijing, China, in June of 2016. Made the one defense against Stephen Smith in Monaco on a 12-round unanimous decision. Then decided to give up the title to face Lomachenko, try to take his title. He's a tough boxer. Should be a really good bout. Scheduled for 12 rounds, of course, and that is the main event. Vasyl Lomachenko versus Jason Sosa for the WBO Super Featherweight Championship. And he's a gold medalist in the 2012 Olympics, as is the guy in the co-feature. Many people consider him the best cruiserweight in the world right now, and that is Alexander Usyk. He is out of Ukraine, and he is a 2008 and 2012 Olympic participant. He won the gold medal in 2012, and he is 11-0 with 10 KOs. He won the WBO cruiserweight title, actually in one of the best bouts I have seen in years, when he fought Krzysztof Glowacki in Gdansk, Poland, back on September 17th, and won a 12-round unanimous decision. Those two guys were absolutely throwing shots left and right. It was a brutal bout. He made his first defense back on December 12th, 3 months later, 3 months to the day, December 17th, in the Forum in Inglewood, California, against Baiso Muchunu. Won a 9th-round knockout in that bout. And again, just a very, very elevated champion right now. And it'll be interesting to see what he does against Michael Hunter out of Las Vegas, Nevada. That's his opponent. He is undefeated, 12-0, 8 KOs. He was also in the 2012 Olympics, representing the United States. He lives in Las Vegas, Nevada, originally from Van Nuys, California. His father was the late Mike the Bounty Hunter. And actually, he made his pro debut here in Washington, in this area, actually at the Novak Fieldhouse on the campus of Prince George's Community College in Largo, Maryland, back in 1985. And I had to look that one up. And I just want to look up who, I remember his father, Mike the Bounty Hunter, but I didn't know he had made his pro debut here in the area. And a number of great boxers made their pro debut, including Eugene Sonny Speed. So that's a little bit of connection to the belt that he has. But Michael Hunter, again, hasn't fought the best of competition except the one when he won the NABO Cruiserweight Championship back on May 13th. He beat Isaiah Thomas by a 10-round unanimous decision in Las Vegas. So, he's fought decent competition, but this is definitely a huge step up for Mike Hunter when he takes on Alexander Usyk in the co-feature. That's the 12-round bout for the WBO Cruiserweight Championship. And then we have a 10-round bout. The third member of the Ukrainian Dream Team is Alexander Gavatstik, and he's known as the Nail. He fights out of Oxnard, California by way of the Ukraine, and he is undefeated 12-0, 10 KOs. He won a bronze medal in the 2012 Olympics, and he will face Yuneski Gonzalez, the Monster, out of Miami, Florida by way of Pinar de Rio, Cuba. He's 18-2, 14 KOs. Gavatstik is a NABF light heavyweight champion. We thought originally that the title would be on the line, but apparently it will not be. And he won that title on April 9th, almost a year to the day, at the MGM Grand Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. He scored a second-round knockout over Najib Mohammadi, and he made his first defense against Tommy Carpensey at the MGM Grand, scored a 6-round TKO there, and then he stopped Isaac Chilemba on November 19th in Las Vegas at T-Mobile Arena, stopped him in the 8th round. Now, Gonzalez is a veteran, as we said, 18-2, 14 KOs. He had lost 2 and now has won 2 in a row. He's won 5 of his last 7 bouts. The 2 bouts he lost to were the former world champion Jean Pascal back in July of 2015 at Mandalay Bay Center in Las Vegas. Lost a 10-round unanimous decision to him, and he lost to Vyacheslav Shabransky at the Turning Stone Resort and Casino in Verona, New York. Lost a 10-round majority decision there. Other than that, he's fought good people. He's fought the likes of Edgar Perez, who's usually a tough guy, although Gonzalez knocked him out in the first round. Most of his bouts have come by knockout. And, again, kind of a step up against Gavatstik, who seems to be one of the better light heavyweights in the world. So that's a 10-round bout, light heavyweights. That'll be Yuneski Gonzalez taking on Alexander Gavatstik. All right, so those are the 3 bouts that you will see on HBO. The HBO broadcast begins at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And so those are 3 bouts where you will see on the telecast. Also, on the undercard, one of the better young boxers in the business. I really like his work. He's known as hard work, as a matter of fact. And that's Jesse Hart out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He is 21-0, 17 KOs, and fought some really solid competition. And I think hopefully this bout will be a stepping stone to bigger and better things. He takes on Alan Aminanza Campa from Mexico. He's 16-2 with 11 KOs. Hart coming off a 3rd-round TKO win over Andrew Hernandez. He made a defense of his USBA Super Middleweight Championship and the NABO Super Middleweight Championship. He's won both. He actually won both of those against Mike Jimenez back in May of 2015. He's fought the likes of Aaron Pryor Jr., Deshaun Johnson, and again, his last bout was against Andrew Hernandez, scored a 3rd-round TKO in Las Vegas on that card at the Treasure Island Casino. He's also fought Samuel Clarkson, scored an 8-round unanimous decision for the vacant NABF Junior Super Middleweight title. I don't know what that is. I've never heard that before. But Samuel Clarkson, of course, will be in our main event this coming Friday night. Not this coming, but a week from Friday night at the MGM National Harbor Casino, the Showbox card. We will preview that card next week. Our next podcast, Beltway Boxing News and Notes podcast, will preview the card coming up on Friday, April the 14th, and a lot more Beltway boxers on that card. He's fought the likes of Leon Bytefield, again, Samuel Clarkson, Derek Finley, a lot of the same people that many of our Beltway boxers have fought in the super middleweight division. But he's legit. I think he's legit. 21-0, 17 KOs, really fights very well. So he'll face Alan Campa, who's fought the majority of his career in Mexico. He's fought at one of his only losses came to Sergey Divrichenko, and that was at the Aviator Sports Complex in Brooklyn, New York. He lost a 4-round TKO there. His other loss came against Jose Pinzon back in September 2013 in Mexico. The fight against Lomachenko came in April of 2015. His last bout was in Hermosillo, Sonora, Mexico, and Campa scored a 6-round TKO over Roberto Valdez. So his biggest win was against Paul Valenzuela in Los Angeles, and that was in November 2015. He won a 6-round unanimous decision there. So that could be an interesting bout as well. Should be interesting to see what happens with that bout with him and Jesse Hart, but it'll be a good bout for Jesse Hart in there. And also on the card, I'm going to try this name. Edijas Kavliauskas. He's out of Lithuania and now fights out of Oxnard, California. He is undefeated, 15-0, 12 KOs. And he will take on Ramesses Agaton, El Fararon. He's from Mexico. He's 18-5 with 3 draws and 10 knockouts. Kavliauskas coming off an 8-round unanimous decision over Cameron Creel on October 14th at the Sportsman's Lodge in Studio City, California. He's fought the likes of Jeremy Bryan, Prentice Brewer, Larry Ventus, and so he's fought some decent people. He's going to fight in an 8-round bout. I think Hart's fight bout is a 10-round bout. Actually, I think Kavliauskas is a 10-rounder. Yes, I think it is. It is a 10-round bout. So we have two 12-rounders. I think we have like 3 or 4 10-rounders, and everything else is an 8-round. So should be interesting to see. Meanwhile, Agaton, 18-5, 310 KOs. As I said, he's coming off a 5th-round TKO win over Moises Cruz, and that win broke a 3-bout losing streak for Agaton. That took place in December 9th in Mexico. So most of his bouts also in Mexico. I think he fought one time, and that was in Las Vegas, and he lost an 8-round majority decision to Konstantin Panoramaev at the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas. That's the only time he has fought out of Mexico. So that, I take it back, that's wrong. He did fight Custio Clayton in Canada, Montreal, Canada, and lost by 8-round TKO. 8-round KO, actually. So that is the card for the top-ranked Pelts boxing card at the MGM National Harbor in Ox Hill, Maryland. Once again, if you do not have tickets, that card is completely sold out. So you have to watch the HBO broadcast at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. The doors, as we said, open at 6:30 p.m. The first bout will scheduled to begin promptly at 7 p.m. I believe that will be Patrick Harris's bout. So you may want to get there as early as you can. If you have tickets, you want to get there early to make sure you see both the Beltway boxers on the card. So should be interesting to see what happens. We will be podcasting from the show, doing reports. Hopefully get some interviews as well, depending on what the Wi-Fi looks like and sounds like. I hope we get some interviews from Mike Reed and Patrick Harris. And again, hopefully we'll do some look to do some undercard post-fight wrap-up shows, and of course give you our view from ringside of how the televised bouts took place. So that'll be happening on Saturday, April the 8th, from the MGM National Harbor Casino in Oxon Hill, Maryland. The first of 2 cards in 6 days at the MGM National Harbor, and the majority of the events, as I said last Saturday, the majority of the events coming up in the next few weeks happen within a 2-mile radius of each other. It's Rosecroft to MGM and back, pretty much for the rest of the month up until Saturday, April 29th. We head over to the ABC Sports Complex in Springfield, Virginia for a card there, the scheduled card there. So it's going to be a lot of fun, folks. And just buckle up and enjoy the ride. And again, subscribe to the Spreaker.com page of Boxing Along the Beltway and the Boxing Along the Beltway page on iHeartRadio.com, and download the Boxing Along the Beltway Google app for Android, and you get all the content, all the reports, and all the action for the next month, the awesome April of Beltway Boxing. That'll do it here for our Beltway Boxing News and Notes podcast. Remember, Boxing Along the Beltway News and Notes brought to you by Real-Time Pain Relief. From boxers to ballerinas, for shoulder pain and to muscle strain, and everything in between. Boxing Along the Beltway recommends Real-Time Pain Relief, the natural, plant-based, safe, fast, and effective ointment. Don't forget, you go to www.freepainoffer.com. You buy $10 worth of real-time pain relief, you get a free $10 tube of real-time pain relief. Rub it on, the pain is gone in real time. I'm Gary Digital Williams. Hope to see you Saturday night, April 8th from the MGM National Harbor Casino. And we enjoy the card there together. Until then, thanks for listening. And always remember to keep supporting the best boxing in the world. The boxing along the Beltway. Thanks for listening. Take care.